Like, look, we're very open book. I've been known to just literally, there's really nothing off limits. I think I like to be real authentic. We did start the company while having kids. It was extremely hard. But I do think it's a very big inspiration because not a lot of people think they could do it. And we did.
That's exactly what it is. It's like so aspirational.
Yeah.
What you guys did, especially while having kids, because people think you
tired.
have. I'm sure you're exhausted.
Yeah.
Like you probably just want to take a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we
As you should.
Like I blacked out, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
During it all.
Yeah.
You look back and you think, what happened?
No, yeah, exactly. No, obviously didn't fully black out, but it's a lot. It's a lot for sure to raise kids and work together, be married. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Start a business, build the business, sell the business. Like you guys really just did it all. This is exactly what we want to talk to you about. So we'll start.
This is a great.
This is a great. There we go. We'll go right into it. Okay.
Totally.
I always forget the name of the podcast in this moment. Welcome back to another episode of Two Parents in a Podcast. Today, we are joined by two parents who we are so excited about, Allison and Stephen Ellsworth, the co-founders of Poppi, the soda that you all know, you all love, you're all probably craving right now that we're drinking. But also, you guys are parents, you guys are entrepreneurs. We are so excited to have you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Thank you
excited to
for
be here.
coming.
Yeah, thank you very much for coming.
Hey, why did you hesitate?
Because I'm thinking about the enhanced new flavor profile of the root beer Poppi that I'm drinking.
So good,
So
right?
good. And you love it?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. It's so good. He made us do it. He didn't like it, and we were honest about it, and so we changed it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
We are so excited to chat with you guys today. It's our first time in our new studio. I don't know where to look, and it's making me blush.
Well, normally, so
I just freaked out. I was like, what do I do? I don't know where to look.
In our old studio
Now I'm
sits
hot.
behind where Stephen's sitting.
Yeah.
Where Stephen's sitting. So naturally, we're gonna have great eye contact here.
Yeah.
My
I think-
one note is I'm like, where do I? Oh my god.
So are you used to looking
Just
at
got
him?
hot. I'm used to sitting across from him, and if we have guests, then they're right here. So I always know like exactly where to look, and like that just tripped me up.
Yeah.
But I think for the
I lost my
listener
fastball.
to level set the agenda for today, I think most of you are probably very familiar and love the Poppi beverage and brand. And what we get to do today is one, understand the story behind the business a little better, but then secondarily understand the family dynamics of what it was like building such a large successful business. And so fitting in our kind of double date theme of we'll talk business, we'll talk family, we'll talk kids as parents of three, and everything in between, I'm sure. Alix, Earle?
Yeah, we'll talk about it all. We're going to talk, I think we're so excited about this episode because you fit all of our buckets of things we like to discuss. And a lot of our listeners are pretty aspirational. Like I'll get a lot of DMs of like, I want to do X, Y, Z, but I just became a new mom or I feel overwhelmed. And you guys are like the true story. Like you guys are the American dream. So I feel like to start though, because you guys are now like you did the big sale, right? And you're so where people want to get, but we got to start where you came from.
Love.
So can we ask you pre-Poppi? Because I saw your TikTok and it was like, are you nervous quitting your corporate job to start a soda company? And then it's like, no, boom. And it's all these like clips of you guys starting it and everyone's, that's like, I love those TikToks. And so to sit here talking to you guys, I got to ask, like, where were you before?
It's so crazy too, because if you think of before, there was lots of stages of before, and there was even before Poppi, which was Mother Beverage. But even before that, we worked together previously before starting a company together. So we worked in oil and gas. We actually met at the mall. Which is so
Cute.
nice, by the way, because I think a lot of, we never had to do the dating apps. Not that it's a bad thing, but just old school, madly fell in love pretty quickly, started working together really quickly. And so we left our big, corporate paying jobs to basically, work 80 hours a week, struggle, just, the entrepreneur dream.
No money, couldn't pay the bills.
Yeah.
Just
All of it. And so I think with it, so previously from oil and gas is kind of when I started having health problems. My stomach always hurt. I was tired, discovered apple cider vinegar, hence wanted to make it taste better. So I created the first version, which was Mother Beverage. And then we went on to Shark Tank, got a deal on Shark Tank. And I did start the company 3 months pregnant, and then I was on Shark Tank 9 months pregnant, had the baby 2 weeks after that. So we've always like either been pregnant or had kids. We have another one that's 3 years old during one of our fastest growing years at Poppi. So it's literally always been part of our story is parenthood and business and working together. So lots of dynamics.
And what were you doing in oil and gas?
It was research. So we used to run like big projects for oil and gas companies. There was like seismic exploration. And I would do research in the courthouse, figuring out who owned the minerals or had the surface rights. Then you would negotiate with them on how we could come on their land to do the research. And then he did a lot of the GIS mapping with it. So we were just kind of very different roles, just similar to at Poppi. We had different roles, but worked really close together.
So when you decided to quit and start, at the time it was called Mother, but now Poppi, when you decided to do that, were you nervous? Did you know where it would go? Or did you think, I don't even care, I just want to try it and see?
Ooh, I know what I would say. How would you answer that?
Yeah, that's a great question. I thought there was going to be at least some level of success. Otherwise, I don't think we would have quit our jobs and gone all in. But I think this level of success, it's sort of hard to wrap your head around that. It's super, super aspirational. I would say that sort of where we got, we could see, or I could see, several years in the rear. But when we first started this thing, to see where it is now and how big it became was hard to imagine.
I think we always said, like, when we first started, we're like, oh my gosh, we could sell for $50 million. Stop. We're like, that is insane. You know, yes, we did sell to nearly $2 billion. And so I think after Shark Tank, I remember our shark was like, we're going to make you guys the biggest Shark Tank deal in history. And I was like, oh my God, I love these goals. Amazing.
I'm here for it. I'm here for
it. But look, Poppi is one of the fastest growing beverages in the history of beverage. The triple digit growth we had year over year was it's so not normal that everybody that even worked at Poppi that had 30 years of experience in beverage had never experienced it either, right? So there's just a lot of firsts. And so it's hard to be like, yeah, we knew we wanted, but we didn't know. There was a lot of unknown.
Go ahead.
And so Mother gets going June of 2016.
Yep.
Okay. And then how long's Mother around before y'all go on Shark Tank?
2018.
Yeah, end of 2018, we took our first investment. 2019 was sort of the transitional year where Poppi was really born, but we were still selling Mother for probably the first half of 2019 before we transitioned into
Yeah, because
Poppi.
we did like a full rebrand from Mother to Poppi and took 9 months off and really figured out like what the can looked like. I mean, if you kind of like look at it, a lot of healthier things are usually white or clean girl aesthetic is what a lot of people say. But for us, we wanted something that was like really bright, colorful, fun, that screamed soda, which was a huge departure from Mother beverage, which was farmer's market, apple cider vinegar beverage, just really holistic. And we had no idea what we were doing before, right? So we brought on some people to help us with the branding, and it was just such a whole experience. It took us about 9 months, but I think it set us up for success at launch. A lot of people in business don't do that work, and then they launch and try to figure it out, and they never go back and do the work.
Magic Spoon makes high protein, zero sugar cereal and treats reinvented from your childhood. Oh, the nostalgia. I still remember every night going into my kitchen, getting a bowl, pouring in the cereal, adding in the milk, grabbing my spoon, and the first crunch, it was like a burst of flavor, you guys. But the thing about Magic Spoon is it makes the cereal fuel, and it truly fuels your day. Every serving of Magic Spoon high protein cereal has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of net carbs. They come in nostalgic flavors like fruity, cocoa, and frosted. You guys, I cannot tell you, like, I'm craving this right now. This cereal is so good. Also, Magic Spoon high protein treats are crispy, crunchy, airy, and an easy way to get 12 grams of protein on the go. Both are great on the go, pre or post workout, or even as a midnight snack, because there's nothing better than a midnight snack with protein. Get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/2parents, or look for Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/2parents for $5 off. How did you... Okay, so you just said like you were surrounded by people that helped you, but you guys didn't have any entrepreneurial like experience before, did you? So did you just follow your gut?
Yeah,
Was it
it's-
just like, is it like solely instinct?
I think passion is beautiful.
Yeah, I
It's a
think we were
beautiful
like,
thing.
yeah, I think we were both entrepreneurs in our DNA. Even though we say like oil and gas was corporate, it was very entrepreneurial.
Okay.
It was her sister's company, and so it was like 4 of us running with nobody really telling us what to do except, hey, we need to get this done. And then we were ultimately somewhat left up to our own devices to figure it out and get it done the best way possible. So I think that there was that, but even before that, I never really held a corporate job in my entire life. I worked at Wells Fargo Financial, and my tenure there was like 3 months. I was like, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
I look at my resume; it's awful. And so I've just had that entrepreneurial spirit in my DNA, from the beginning. I think you did too.
So you always say, because we're new parents, right? How old are your 3 kids?
3, 7, and 8.
Yeah, our oldest will be 9 in October.
7 and 8's close. Like, what's
Very
the
close.
spread there?
22 months.
22 months.
Yes, and it was crazy because I was 3 months when he started it, and I was pregnant with my second on Shark Tank, and so it was like honestly like the hardest years. Why we did that, I don't know.
Because you were just doing
I was
it.
just like,
Doing.
get it done, and then we have 3 boys, which then for anybody that has 3 boys is really hard. Like they're very hard boys. So, but we love them to death, of course.
Of course.
Yes.
But the boys, they say, are a different beast because they're like into everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
So Harrison, one thing he always says is the reason. Sorry, I know you're not going to want me to say this, but the reason I always say you're such a good dad, okay? And then he says, I think the reason I'm able to be such a good dad is because entrepreneurship set me up for it, right? So like there's a million balls in the air. You never know what's going to happen. There's a lot of adversity, X, Y, Z. And he thinks like that translates really nicely to parenthood. And for him, though, it makes sense because he's had his company for 5 years and then he had a kid. So the trajectory is a bit more natural. But for you guys, it's like a little bit more convoluted. Do you think one helped you with the other or vice versa? Or how do you find them intertwined, like entrepreneurship and parenting?
To me, it's the higher purpose, right? I think a lot of entrepreneurs can be really selfish and get like really ego driven, right? That's why a lot of them don't have kids. That's why a lot of them aren't married, right? You start your business and you're just like, it's the business is number one. And I think the beauty of what we built was family was always first, then business, and then unfortunately marriage was third.
And, and so what is
Yeah.
Juicy.
The plot thickens.
So I'd love to get into that. So in 2 parts. First, how did you balance family while building such a big business? And then beyond that, getting to your relationship and building. But let's start with the first.
It was hard. I think in the early years, it was like heavy me pregnant. Well, Stephen was just doing a lot on his own, right? I mean, like you were working 2 jobs. It was just a lot.
Yeah.
I was stuck at home. But I remember going into labor basically on the bottling line, and then I was back on it 2 weeks later with the baby strapped to me. I was doing like deliveries to Royal Blues with, cases and the baby on the back. And they'd be like, oh my gosh, can I help you? And I was like, I got this. And I just was breastfeeding on Zooms, and I just didn't care. I was like, why should I be ashamed? Like I'm hustling with a baby strapped to me. I know it sounds crazy to like think of it now, but
I just don't think we put a lot of thought into it
Yeah.
in the best way possible. I think we were just like, we wanted a family. When we got married, we knew that we wanted kids. We wanted a family. We didn't think about it. And so it was just natural for us that once we got married, we wanted to start a family. And so I honestly think it was because we didn't make it a big deal. We just said, we want to be entrepreneurial. We want to start a business. We want to be married and have a family. And so we just did it.
And
Just made it work.
And so
I like that.
it really sounds like what you didn't do was create definitive lines between business and home, and you really merged family life and business life.
Yeah.
I think also that was a really big piece of culture, even at Poppi. I feel like we were really encouraging of new moms. And I remember one of our national meetings, I just had my 3rd, and another mom had a baby about the same age, and we were both stressed about leaving the baby. And I was like, well, why don't we just bring them? Like, and we like flew, and we had employees bring their kids to our national meeting. And so for me, I think that was also just part of the culture because of where we were at. And so to your point, it was from the beginning, and I didn't really ever see it any other way.
Yeah.
My kids are in our TikToks. They've always been like included in so many different things, and I've made the decision to share my life, and like that's just how it is.
So what advice would you give to whether it be a new mom, a new dad who's starting a new venture and really wants the venture to be successful, but also wants to have a really close relationship with their kids?
Buckle up. No, I really think it's like when you say you have all of these balls in the air, right? Family's a ball, marriage is a ball, and business is a ball. And I would just say that you've got to show up and try your best every single day. And at certain phases in life, one of those aspects is going to get more attention than the other because it needs to, right? And so, okay, you're super focused on business. Maybe your marriage, sort of the ball starts to drop a little bit. Family starts to drop a little bit. But then if you show up and are aware of those three balls that are in the air, you can say, okay, now I need to pivot and spend a little bit more time on family, a little bit more time on marriage. Is the business set up in a way where I can sort of, divert my focus a little bit more, just so that all three balls ultimately stay in the air? But it's I'm not going to lie, it's difficult, but I think it's just showing up and being aware of all of the things that you're juggling and making sure that one area isn't failing too much.
I would add to it because we keep each other in check.
'Kay.
So, like, if I'm hardcore traveling, speaking, going to events, going to market, and like traveling, and he's then stuck at home watching the kids while also having a full-time job just as busy, and then I would come home exhausted, and I would be like, ugh, I don't put the kids to bed, and he's like, well, you haven't done it in 7 days, you've been gone.
I was like, you're tired?
Yeah, like you're tired. And it's so hard.
It's so tough to get room service in the hotels. And
Yeah, you had a break.
It's like, I'm so sorry.
I was
Poor
up.
you.
Yeah. And he would be like, no, like I'm tired too. And so I think also communication with your partner is like a huge piece. And there's a lot of times I'd be just so tired and I would think my stuff was more important than his stuff, which I think is like a normal marriage thing that I'm sure you guys go through. But I think to his point, like it's just hard. Like I think business and having kids is hard, but it's also way more rewarding.
Yeah.
Yeah. The one thing that I would say, because we get asked this a lot, is like, how is it to work with your spouse?
Oh yeah, we're going there.
We're going there.
But go ahead now.
Yeah. So one of the things that I would say is because we work together, our common goal was so clear.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
And so we were always on the same page. We were doing it for our family. And I think if it could be more challenging if one of either the husband or wife is off doing their own thing, it's hard. It's just more difficult. The wife doesn't know what the husband is doing or vice versa. And so it's just difficult to be all in. And so what I would say is like, if the wife wants to go and start something or the husband wants to go start something and that's not the passion of the others, like get in it together and commit, like really get in the trenches together, knowing that this is like the path and goal for our family.
Okay, that actually makes a lot of sense because I see what you're saying. So like if the wife is off and she's got like that big drive and the husband's at home, like he could feel a little left out. And so then she comes home, she's exhausted. It's not like a shared goal. It's kind of like your pie feels complete and everybody's in on the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. But then it also takes the wife acknowledging what the husband is doing at home to take care of everything else so that the family is still in a good place while the wife is off building and doing and whatever, or vice versa.
Right.
And so that's really the common goal, and having a mutual respect for the roles that they both play within the household.
Another thing that I love that you pointed out was, and I never even thought about this, is a lot of entrepreneurs or successful people that you look up to sometimes aren't married or they don't have kids because their family or their baby was the company. And so it's really cool. I'm realizing now, like seeing you guys make it family oriented paints a different picture. And maybe that's why we were so drawn to it.
Yeah, and I think like or ultimately the business wins, and then there's a broken home. Because there's also that option as well. And I was asked today, like, who do you look up to? Like, what billionaires do you look up to? And I was sort of scratching my head because most of the billionaires that come to the top of my mind have broken homes. They don't have a great marriage. Totally. They don't have a great family life. And so I was like, I don't really look up to any of them. And so then I was sort of reflecting. I was like, maybe because the billionaires that I would look up to aren't in the public eye doing it for their own grandeur and personal brand, but are rather taking that time to focus on their marriage and focus on their kids.
It's
I
a
thought it was
hard
kind of
one.
an interesting thing.
I don't know. I struggle with that as well. Being like, who do you guys look up to? And it's really hard to find what we've done. It's really like to build a business and a family at the same time is like not normal.
Well, financially, you guys are a whole different caliber now, right? And
Right.
it puts you amongst peers, to just like speak very candidly. Like it puts you amongst peers that you look at, and like I'm thinking of them now. I'm like, okay, billionaires that you would look up to that are family oriented, and a lot of the ones that you grew up looking up to, right? I'm honestly, all the ones I'm thinking of are somehow divorced, and I know they have. A lot of them have kids, or
Yeah.
you know, it is like a really interesting thing that you talk about. But we're talking about this new age dad who, like, cool now is being involved.
Super dad.
And I do love like one of the stories you shared so far is Allison being on the road and you being at home putting the kids to bed. And I'm not sure where you were going with that question, but or if there was one.
Well, I don't know, but that you just did like, well, I was going to say how it's new aged fatherhood. Like you guys are putting it on the map where it's cool it used to not be cool to be at home. I remember like sometimes.
My mom says that a lot. Like, your husbands do so much. And I'm like, really?
No, we just do equal 50-50.
No, like he does so much. But I'm like, it's expected. It's a partnership. I'm like,
Yeah.
of course he does. Like he
Yeah.
loves our children. He wants to be with them.
Yeah.
So I think I get what you're saying.
Dad used to babysit. I'll never forget my aunt said to
Yeah.
her daughter, she was like, oh, is Tyler babysitting tonight? And she was like, he doesn't babysit. Like, we're both the parents.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But it used to be like dad would babysit or you would get a babysitter. But now, like, you guys seem to parent the way we do, which is just like they're both our kids. So, like,
Yeah.
one of us has them and the other one might be at work, which I think is like a really cool thing. And where I was going was in terms of new age entrepreneurs, right? Making it more family oriented. If you don't have anybody you look up to that's done it, that you see, like you guys are kind of trailblazers in that sense. Now all the younger generation that follow you, like even on TikTok, like I see your boys are in there and you guys are opening stuff. That gives them a sense of like, I can have a family and I can be a kick-ass entrepreneur, which I think is really cool. This message is sponsored by Greenlight. Remember summertime as a kid, the freedom of nature, the opportunities born from boredom. Setting up a lemonade stand was always my favorite. I would do it with my neighbor, or going on those bike rides just before the sun went down, or you could go fishing, or you could go on a walk with your best friend that lived in the neighborhood. Truly, you could do anything, and you could even learn to earn and manage a buck. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach your kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and money app made for families that helps kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. You guys know Harrison and we are like obsessed with this. It's something that we think a lot about. Parents can send money to their kids and keep an eye on how they're spending and saving. Meanwhile, kids and teens build money confidence and skills in a fun, accessible way that feels even more like a game than a lesson. Greenlight is the easy, convenient way for parents to raise financially smart kids and families to navigate life together. Maybe that's why millions of kids trust and kids love learning about money on Greenlight, the #1 family finance and safety app. Don't wait to teach your kids real-world money skills. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/2parents. That's greenlight.com/2parents to get started. Greenlight.com/2parents.
One of the things that really landed with me that you said, Stephen, part of what allowed your relationship to thrive was the common understanding between what each of you were doing. So if there was a bad day because, there was a big issue with the retailer, Allison didn't need to come home and explain to you that that the vibe was low. And so just paralleling that to couples who don't work together and encouraging them to go a layer deeper into what's happening in their day to day and looping their partner in to keep them on the same page. That seems very powerful. Now, Allison, you did mention though that your relationship often did come number 3. And so I'd love to hear a little bit more about that. And over the 10 years of building Poppi, what was the hardest thing that your relationship went through? And how did you navigate that?
Yeah, And I say, look, we are still madly in love. We have 3 children. We have a great marriage. But I think is what we let go was the expectation of what people do in their marriages. I was like, okay, I'm good if we don't do Valentine's Day and I have flowers. Like, we need to get this PO off. The guilt that all relationships do at some point of we haven't done a date night this month, right? Yes, I know you need to connect, but we're together like all day. We're with the kids all day. I think it was different because we were together so much that I finally one day I was like, let's just let all the guilt go. And so a lot of it was that piece of the expectation was kind of just gone for that perfect what society makes marriage think it should be. So then when we do go on a date, or I did get flowers on a random Tuesday, it was almost so much more special because it wasn't for my birthday, for Valentine's Day, for Christmas. You know what I mean? And so I think it was like that piece where it was like, okay, kids are happy. They're in school, camps, well-fed, loved, business is thriving. And then I'm okay if I don't have flowers. It was like that type of understanding. But I mean, people always ask us, going back to, would you guys do this again? And we are constantly talking about that. Like, we are the yin to the yang, the partnership. He's so good at the things I'm not good at. And so I 100% don't think I would ever do it not with him. You know what I mean? And we're actually struggling a little bit with that right now because he's kind of more out of the business of Poppi. I'm still like 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and still helping advise on creative and stuff. And so he's like 3 months ahead of me on doing a bunch of other things, and he's doing stuff that I don't know what's going on. And so it's this new dynamic. We're actually having to relearn how not doing everything together. And so that's a new challenge in our relationship that we're constantly talking about it. It's good. I think it's healthy.
Yeah.
But
I'm like, you coming along? Because if not, you're going to get left.
Literally.
Wait, so you're doing something different now?
Yeah, I mean, well, we're pretty active in the CPG sort of startup and investing scene, I guess, if you will. But no, I think part of that is just helping other entrepreneurs. We had a lot of help, and so sort of paying it forward, and we've learned a lot. So taking those lessons and putting them to work is really exciting and gives me a lot of energy. But yeah, we definitely have a cool idea that we're working on in the background right now, which is pretty exciting. I think we get more and more excited about it every week.
Yeah.
How long has it been since you, like, what do you, they're like, okay, so the next, which I admire. No, I think that's cool. So you guys have like another idea. Did you know they had another idea?
How'd I know that?
I don't know. I was like, I thought I was going to ask, is the relationship now like taking priority? But no. We're just going to...
It honestly is. Like, funny story. We had the time wrong for coming on y'all's podcast today. We came 2 hours early, and we were like, wow, let's go to lunch. And we had a 2-hour lunch, and we're both sitting there. We're like, this is so nice. I don't remember the last time we could do that. But now if I think about it, we've done that a couple times in the last month and a half.
Yeah.
We never did that before. So it's a delight and a surprise getting to know each other, like, actually having conversations and planning and talking about stuff. So before we kind of just blew through and just did stuff and kind of FYI'd each other afterwards. And so it's kind of fun having conversations again. And look, Stephen is, to your point earlier, he's so hands-on. Like as a father, very involved. He was raised, he's one of 6, lots of kids. They
So
have
many
great
kids.
family values. So many kids. So it's he's a good dad, and so I think
Oh, thank you.
there's a lot of unknown though still right now.
How much of the lunch was spent talking about the new idea?
None.
Wow.
Yeah. We were actually talking about a Labor Day getaway with the family.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Where are you guys going to go?
We don't know.
Oh, you want to go somewhere, though, but you haven't.
So
Yeah.
we were chat GPTing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what we'd love to do is
Yeah.
It's like
the chat.
What are the family-friendly places you can go? Because like discovering all these new things that we can actually go on a family vacation. Because for like 7.5 years we didn't do that.
You did not go on one.
No, because we would go on vacation and we would get our schedules aligned. So I would work in the mornings and he would work in the afternoon, and we would switch and watch the kids. And so anytime if we'd go to the lake house or something like that for the week. And so we never actually spent time together. It was
We would travel,
You babysit
but
in the
never on
morning. I'll
vacation.
babysit in the
Yeah.
afternoon.
We'll swap.
Yeah, and so I think it's good for people to hear this. Everyone's like, "You guys, it looks so good. Your marriage was perfect, and your kids and the success." It's like, no, it's hard. It's hard, but we were really good at making it work, and the communication I think is always key.
What was the biggest fight y'all had while building Poppi?
I mean, we always say it was like the sugar thing.
Yeah, who was right?
Yeah, him like adding in sugar to Poppi, I was like really against for the longest time, and
Yeah.
he was right for sure. I hate saying that, but I would say like another one was I was traveling a lot, and I kept saying yes to like huge speaking gigs and like going across and being at every Poppi event. And he was just like, "You need to be home more." And and I was like, "No, I can't. We're like, it's busy." And so I would say that was like kind of a difficult time too, but I'm so glad we had that conversation and I learned how to say no and I was home more and it made me so much happier. It made me like a better person and a better mom.
To be home more.
Yeah, just,
Okay.
like when I was on the road, I was killing myself to get home. So if I had to go to New York, I'd go there and back in a day. And then you're running on empty.
But then also
Right.
it was like, I feel like there was a level of guilt that you had for you showing up and saying yes. Like you wanted to build the business and your personal brand, but like you felt there was also like this, I don't know, this sense of guilt for like going away from the kids because you also are a great mom and you want to continue to be a great mom. So it was
it's a
like,
lot.
it was just sort of recalibrating. But
Okay, so speaking of the kids, I want to go somewhere really quickly. Like you mentioned not being able to pay the bills at one point. And I don't know if that's like an exaggeration or if that's real.
It's real.
But
Yeah,
okay,
it's real.
so from not being able to pay the bills to fast forward to like an almost $2 billion exit, right? And now you've got your 3 boys. How are you thinking about raising them with this money?
It's a constant conversation.
I'm sure.
It's scary.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how are they not little turds?
Yeah, honestly, like I think we haven't officially aligned on this, but I'm going to say that we've aligned on it.
We have a little
If you
bit
put
of different
it,
parenting
if we record
styles.
it, it could be.
Yeah. Let this be on the record.
Yeah.
No, I think we're aligned that the one characteristic that we want to raise our kids with is grit, right? And grit doesn't come from a life with a silver spoon. And so I think, like, listen, we've been able to get some help. We even got some help while we were building the business. As the business grew, we could afford a little bit more just to sort of outsource some of the things that we shouldn't be spending our time on.
Totally.
However, like we have someone that comes regularly and they're like, no, she'll just do it. And I'm just like, excuse me, no, you're going to
Like
pick
a
up your
cleaner.
trash now. You're going to
it.
make your bed now. And so they've got chores every single weekend.
Stephen lays down the law.
Yeah, I have no
like,
time
no.
for I have no time for entitled kids.
No,
And so
yeah.
it's just helping them understand the value of hard work and the value of money, honestly.
I mean, I'm on
Yeah.
board for that. It's just I'm just a kind of a pushover. I'll be honest, when it comes to the kids, they're like, they just look at me with their eyes and I'm like, just give me a hug. Like, so
I love a good hug too.
I know, but I'm definitely more of a pushover when it comes to that stuff, but I do want that. So I'm like, yay, do it.
Yeah.
But you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was literally putting our youngest one to bed yesterday.
night,
Last night. And she literally walks up the stairs. She goes, "Your youngest son needs discipline. You need to
Love
come
it.
down here."
And so we switched.
Yeah.
But we have an understanding.
Well, that's delegating.
I know. And it's not his way. He just like, dad's there and he like gets in bed. Like, and I'm like, he just doesn't do that for me.
He knows.
How about
I'm
you
working
guys?
on
Who
it.
lays down the law?
Yeah.
He knows. It'll be me.
It'll
Yeah.
be you.
It
You'll
will
lay,
be.
you'll lay down the law.
Don't you think?
For our first, yeah. I mean, she is.
Especially
like-
since it's a little girl, right?
She looks at him and
Yeah.
he's like, you can do whatever you want. And I'm like,
just like melt. Yeah,
she melts him.
yeah.
Oh, it's
It's the
unbelievable.
same. It's
Yeah.
so hard.
Well, it's probably because like they're your little boys, right? Where it's his little girl. Maybe there's something to do with like the opposite gender. I don't know.
Yeah, mama's boy, daddy's girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, no, we will. I'm like you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're the one who enforces like schedules and nap time and.
So I'll be the enforcer.
Yeah.
Did you have another question about
I was
raising
going to ask
kids?
if you gamify chores at all.
Oh.
Our kids are independent.
Cash.
and Cash.
Yeah, but like, do you like put cash rewards behind like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We tried the beans. We tried the stickers. You tried the you get what you want candy. We tried like all of those things where it's like one of them, like a cute one that was you have a bucket of beans and every time you do something good, you handful and you fill up your jar. When your jar is full, you get something. They were like, this is taking too long. They want that immediate gratification. And so our 3-year-old would not sleep through the night the other night. We had just gotten back from vacation, was a little bit off, and he kept up Stephen like 2 nights in a row. And I was working or whatever, and so I couldn't like really stay up with him. And finally, the 3rd night, I was like, he was exhausted. To my 3-year-old, I go, if I will give you $5 if you just sleep through the night. He slept through the night.
Slept through the night.
And the first thing he said to me the next morning is, "Where's my $5?"
No way.
Yeah. So it's good
That's so funny though.
because the kids know the power of money.
But then I take the $5 and I put it in his piggy bank, and then the next time I bribe him, I just give him the same $5.
But I honestly like it. That's my way of gamifying it because I think it also, as I said, it teaching them the value of money and the importance of money, and sort of keeping it in its right context. Right, it's a tool. It's not the end all be all. Yeah. But it's really funny. They're learning negotiating tactics. Hey, will you go make your bed, clean the game room upstairs, clean your room, wipe down your sink? How much are you going to give me? I go, I'll give you $5. 20, Dad.
Oh.
I need 20. I was like, excuse me? Oh, it's going to be 5. Otherwise, there's no screens for the rest of the day is typically the balance. But it's fun to see them really negotiate and understand that. And understand that like the harder they work, it produces the ability to earn money. And then we hold that money and allow them to go pick out things, save up for things, whether it's a packet of Pokemon cards or whatever.
You guys, before discovering Skims, I never wore bras. It was the truth. Like I would wear a sports bra and that was about it. But now through discovering Skims strapless bra and their everyday triangle bralette, it has truly changed the game. I'm wearing it right now actually, because whenever I'm wearing the triangle bralette, whenever you get home, you're not like, oh, I can't wait to take off my bra. It is so comfy. You throw it on. I travel in it. The strapless bra, my neighbor just asked me the day, where did you get your favorite strapless bra? I said Skims. And so even their underwear, they are so soft you don't even notice you're wearing it. Skims has truly changed the game when it comes to staples that everyone needs in their closet, but they have made them so comfortable and cute. And I just was wearing one of their tank tops the other day and somebody said, where'd you get that? And I said, Skims. So shop my favorite bras and underwear at skims.com. After you place your order, be sure to let them know we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select our show in the drop-down menu that follows.
There's a layer to it because, like, for example, we've worked really hard. And I know there's always the conversation like first class, like flying first class, for example.
I would love to talk about that.
And he's like, I didn't get to fly first class. The kids shouldn't, but then that means I can't. And I've worked really hard, and I want to fly first class.
Yeah, I didn't fly first class. I was like 35. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Steven's like, no, we're not doing it. And I'm like, I'm sorry, but the kids are not going to know any different of us going and coach on the way here and then go staying in a 5-star resort. And then, like, on the news, everyone's saying that we're the Poppi founders and we just sold for $2 billion. I'm like, them not flying first class isn't changing the reality of they know what's going on. So I think it goes back to just teaching them. Like, that's the only thing we really can do. It's pretty public. Everyone, I've been to their schools, and I'll have people come up to me, little 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old kids, and they're like, you're a billionaire. I'm like, no, like, I'm not. Like, it's not the reality. It's just so public.
Yeah.
So I'm like, just let me fly first class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you guys fly first class with your kids?
Well, we were talking about it on the way home because, so right now she sits on our lap and we were flying first class on the way back from Vancouver to Austin. But I was talking about it and I was like, so what happens when she starts to know? And we didn't get much further than that. What happens? We can just do it right now. You just, do you want to, I don't know what we're going to do.
So one piece of advice,
Because I'm like you, I want to stay. I want to go up there.
Yeah.
yeah, and quite frankly, so do I, because it just traveling takes so much energy, especially with kids and you're cramped and the whole thing. So I think it just makes all of our lives easier. But someone told me it's how you treat those sort of nice things in life and the people surrounding it, right? I think if it's expected and you treat people a certain way because of it. I think that's where you can start to go wrong, and sort of they get complexes on sort of us versus them, if you will. And so I think that's one of the things that didn't really make a lot of sense. But like, for example, like a flight attendant,
I was
right?
gonna say.
If you're like in first class, it doesn't entitle you to treat that person any different. So it's
better
please
not.
and thank you so much. I appreciate you, like all of that. And so I think the way that we show up as parents to everyone in our circle or in our surroundings, regardless of status, like you just treat everybody with respect. And I feel like that goes a long way in sort of teaching them that we're no different than everybody else. Yes, we have some of these things that we can afford, but it doesn't entitle you or give you permission to act a certain way.
Are you ever going to say things like "Mom and Dad worked really hard for this money," or
All
anything
the
like?
time.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's like I've always
Well,
thought that was like Mom and Dad worked really hard for this, but like it doesn't mean that you get to be an asshole or
Yeah.
something.
We were raised not with money, both of us, right? Like
Yeah.
he had Norma. I was raised by a single mom who worked a minimum wage job, but I never really thought we were poor, even though looking back, we were probably lower income because there was just so much love in our home. And so I just feel like we remember that, we have those memories. We want to instill in like hard work, like this is our money, we made this, like what are you gonna do? And then I think the scary thing is that comes in is like we can teach our kids, but it's like their kids. It's the generations after that like gives me more anxiety. I'm like, okay, I can at least control this situation with my own children.
Yeah.
I think for me it's so funny. I think like one of the things that comes to mind because I have 3 boys is like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be psycho once they start dating.
Oh yeah.
It's like all these girls.
That's
with
so
the Ellsworth
funny.
boys, like with so public, like that stuff gives me anxiety. But I gotta let them be, and hopefully they'll just fall in love with the sweetest.
Well, it'll
People
still be
ever.
our money, not their money. They haven't made any money.
There's guardrails around
Yeah,
that.
they have no money. They're still broke.
Yeah.
You're just reminding them that at the Thanksgiving table.
Don't forget.
Okay,
Don't
girls,
forget.
and just one announcement. The girls are like, oh. Guys, let's talk about Built. If you're paying rent every month without earning anything in return, let me introduce you to Built, the rewards program designed for renters who want to earn something for their largest monthly expense. Let me explain. By paying rent through Built, you earn flexible points that can be redeemed towards hundreds of hotels and airlines and future rent payment or your next Lyft ride and so much more. But it doesn't stop there. Built is about making your entire neighborhood more rewarding. You can dine out at your favorite local restaurants and earn additional points, get VIP treatments at certain fitness studios, and enjoy exclusive experiences just for Built members every month. So you guys earn points on rent and around your neighborhood wherever you call home by going to joinbuilt.com/2parents. That's JOINBILT.com/2parents. Make sure to use our URL so they know we sent you.
If you could teleport back to June of 2016, Mother is in its early days. What advice would you each give to your younger self?
Like advice now to that person, or like my younger self.
Like you can.
Like knowing what they know now,
So-
talking to them.
So there's a great like little thing that I saw, and it was if Allison in June of 2016 was going to meet Allison of today, what would Allison of today tell June 2016 Allison? What advice would you give her?
One piece of advice I think I would give her first is have more kids. We wish we would have had more kids, which we might still.
It's not over.
It's not over. Because it's a lot better if you just do it quickly while they're all young, and like once you get out of the phases, that's a big thing, right? Like, and even knowing how hard it was with kids, I would have been like had to have 2 more. I think another one was don't lose yourself, because along the way with Poppi, we had so much change that I was fearless. I was so ready to take on the world. And there was a kind of a phase along the way with Poppi. I kind of lost myself because we brought in a lot of people that, quote unquote, I thought knew more than me. And that doesn't mean I can't grow, change, and get better, but I lost my confidence kind of there in the middle. And then I got a business coach and I found my voice again and I found my confidence. And once I did that, it was better for the business. It was better for the culture. It was better for the people, better for our marriage. But I do think, you know, I look back and I'm like, don't lose your confidence. Don't let people change who you are. And now I'm back there now, but I think that's the thing a lot of entrepreneurs go through, right? They feel like take bad advice all the time, those type of things. What about you?
Yeah, I think I would probably, what you said resonates with me. I think you get a round of people that have been there, done that. I think they have a skill set. Entrepreneurs have a certain skill set as well. And so to sort of maintain that voice and confidence throughout the whole process. The other thing that I would say is enjoy the process, document the process a little bit better, but really like enjoy the process. And I think it's easier to do now. And I sort of reflect on all of the things in my life, but it's pressure is a privilege, right? And so I look back fondly on some of the darkest days while building the brand, where I'm at a warehouse in Harry Hines, Dallas, which is like a bad part of town, at like 2 a.m. because the equipment broke, and I have a purchase order that needs to go out by 4 p.m. the next day, and we have to wake up and we have to, you know, fill the bottles and get the product out the door. Like those are like dark days, and babies at home screaming, like the whole thing. But I look back on those days, and those are really like the days I look back the most fondly of, because those are the days that really tested my character. And sort of like reset my baseline for what I knew I was capable of accomplishing. And so I would say, enjoy those moments. Enjoy those moments, because those are the moments you grow the most.
It makes me like ready to run through a wall.
Journal. I wish I would have journaled.
Journaled
Yeah,
more?
what do you mean by document more?
Yeah, like, you know, our whole journey was online, right? Like with TikTok, we have 3 billion views, like on my face on TikTok. It's crazy. It's not that, but I almost wish those internal note taking for me, different stages of the business, so many emotions. You have so many high highs, so many low lows. It's such a thing that you forget. It's almost like, you know, childbirth. You're like, oh, that was horrible, fun, amazing, exciting, and then you like forget about it, and then you do it all over again.
You're like, that was easy.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't. You like kind of just forget. So I think for me, I wish I would have journaled, which I am not a journaler. I like won't even write an email.
Oh, so you just wish you would just write something down.
Yeah, you voice note something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like this was a really like the nights, like the Harry Hines, like those moments of just like writing down what that felt like.
You forget a lot, because you were saying like we couldn't pay the bills, and he tells me stories sometimes, and I'm like, wait, that happened? I don't remember that.
Yeah.
But it was we, you know, couldn't make our mortgage one night, and the check came for our tax return the next day, and we were able to make our mortgage, and just like, and I'd never really, I was like, oh yeah. I guess we were pretty broke.
The money burden was something that was top of mind always. For me,
him,
but yeah,
I was like,
You're like, oh,
I'm the creative. He's always kind of kept the wheels on. We always say I'm jumping off the cliff and he's catching me.
oh.
It's typically like how our business is. I can just, anything's possible. Sky's the limit. I will try literally anything once. And I think that goes back to the changing, what I was saying earlier of, I always have this mentality change, you know, but then I thought, oh, maybe this is the way things are supposed to be. And that's not who I am. So when we do it next, I probably will go crazier than we did this time too. So
That's pretty cool to hear, though.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for what's next.
I know.
I also love how the first reaction was family focused and family oriented. And despite all the success that y'all have had, what it all comes, the first thing that you come back with is
Of what you would tell your younger self, how she
Yeah.
said have more kids? Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was cool, too.
Yeah.
I would have 6 kids. I just want to be pregnant again.
Girl, preach.
It's
tough.
They're wonderful little things when they're here, but man, being pregnant sucks. Anyone that tells you that they like enjoy it, that is a special person, and bless you, but it sucks, especially in Texas, y'all. It is hot here. It's
You're not
August,
gonna hear it from me.
It's 100 degrees.
we were just cheerleaders on the sideline on this
Literally.
Yeah.
one. Just please
But it is
as many as you will.
Yeah, you want 5. You want 5, right?
How many kids do you got? You want 5 kids?
4 or 5, but I'm like you. Like, so somebody gave us this great advice, which was don't think about now, think about your Thanksgiving table in 25
Totally.
years.
Exactly.
How many people do you want around it, right? And I was, so sick every day that I was pregnant, right?
Oh.
And I hated it, but, it's like, okay, you just do it again. I mean, you've done it 3 times, so that's a lot more than my 1, right? But still, girl, I hear you. Some people are like, I felt so connected to my body and all my ailments left. I was like, what? My body was like attacking me. And I'm like, that was not my journey.
And every pregnancy is different. All 3 of mine were so wildly different. So hopefully your next will be better.
Hopefully.
Yes.
That's a good, I'm glad to know that they were all different. And they were all the same gender.
Exactly.
So like that's a wise tale, right? Like if you have a boy, maybe it doesn't take as much as your hormones, so you're not as sick. I don't think that's like a real thing.
Well, yeah, and my third, there was like, it just gets easier each time. No, my third was my hardest. He was 10 pounds, 2 weeks late. And I do like all natural birth. And so it was just like a little bit of that honestly scarred me, or we probably would have had another one. So they're all different. Let's just say that. Ugh.
Yeah. Okay. It's good to know.
And I'm just going to go back to her.
Do it.
Yeah.
On the advice and confidence piece, that really lands, especially because one of my takeaways has been, like pregnancy in entrepreneurship, how different the path is for so many different entrepreneurs. But one of the commonalities that I see with a lot of folks who give advice is they take their experience and really swear by it, and that experience really may not be right for you, right? And especially when you look at your value system, and if your value system is more family-oriented and relationship-oriented, then taking advice from someone who's 3 divorces deep and hasn't been to a kid's birthday in 24 months may not be right for you. Or if you're more of a brand built behind IP versus a brand built behind some other form of defensibility. So that's the other thing I've struggled with, that has resonated with me, is definitely like what may have worked for you very well may not work for how we're doing things. And I see how taking the wrong advice has hurt my confidence and the process of finding your voice that you're confident in.
Well, I like that you said, I thought these people knew more than me, but in fact, like Poppi is y'all's DNA. So it's like you knew the most. You just for a second thought maybe they did. And then you realized, like, no, I do.
Yeah, and then I think coming out the other side, the better mental space to be is a collaboration between where they have a common respect and you also have a common respect, and it's a partnership, right? We wouldn't have gotten this far without all the people and our employees and everyone that we've worked with. But it was a learning process for them as well, right? You have these entrepreneurs coming in that have no traditional, say, like operations marketing. They're all traditionally there. We would step back from a lot of the stuff, also being like, oh, they know more than us. Where as an entrepreneur, you have a lot of grit and willingness to learn and try different things. And so I think they had to learn that and the value of what we brought and the same. And then once we had like a rocky 6 months that it was like that. And then once they kind of figured it out is really where our explosive growth came. And we just had such a mutual respect. But it was kind of crazy there for a bit. But I'll be honest, like Poppi was so stressful with the growth. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs with like their egos as well. Nobody likes to be wrong or to ask for help, but I think that it's important that you do have lots of voices at the table for sure.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like you guys have an ego at all.
I mean, I'm sure I do.
You have
it shows up in different ways.
You have confidence, but it doesn't. I think there's a difference between confidence and ego. Maybe that's the wrong read.
No, I think that's a great way. Like we have a lot of confidence, but I think that's been one of the biggest things is as an entrepreneur, you can't have an ego. It hurts the business and it hurts the people that work for you. I mean, we have 250 employees. Poppi is our DNA, but we can't run this engine by ourselves. And to have that mutual respect, I think a lot of entrepreneurs forget that piece.
It's a nice, yeah.
I think like the ego would show up as like you have a team. You can't do it without the team. and you want to empower them to do it their way and to be creative and run the business. And so I think ego can show up in that way because you're like, I know I'm right, but yet I want to empower you. And so that's where it can show up sometimes where it's like, I'm right. I know I'm right. I can make this decision if I want to, but like, want to make sure that you're bought into the idea as well, or just let them do it. So I think that's a way that,
I want Poppi to be successful without us.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally.
You know what I mean? I want and need the brand to stand on its own. We sold 100% of our company. You don't sell your house and keep the keys and then like tell people what flowers to plant. You know what I mean? The beauty is they do want us to still be involved and respect that value that we do bring, which is we're almost getting the best of both worlds right now.
Oh, I didn't. Okay. So you're still going to be like, you said you're still more involved.
Yeah, so like I ran all of our creative and brand at Poppi, and so I'm still heavily involved in the creative side and the brand and the social and the face of and all of that. But I don't have a team anymore. You're not doing the mid-year reviews. You're not doing the day-to-day, like in the weeds. So it's just like any advisor, which is kind of nice because it's the fun, big, like stuff that can really make impact on.
Have you been bored?
My new norm, I will say I'm a little bored, but I'm finding like health and wellness exciting again, wanting to work out. I would say, I think I worked out 7 times the first 2 weeks after selling Poppi. I didn't work out 7 times last 2 years.
Yeah, wow.
Like stuff like that. I am excited. I'm guest shark on Shark Tank.
That's exciting.
Right?
I saw that, yeah.
Like, so we're working on a lot of investment. He's leading a lot of the investments, but we both, when we're looking at an investment, it's what can he bring on the business and operational side, and then how can I help with the creative and brand, which is a really great thing that people also want us, right? You're getting like a 2-for-1. So we've been focusing on a lot of deals as well. I'm excited about, I can't talk about if I did or did not make a deal yet because it doesn't
Juicy.
air for a little
Cliffhanger,
bit,
yeah.
but super excited about it and being the first person to have gotten a deal to go back and be a shark, like the full.
It's so full circle.
It's
really cool.
It's the American dream.
Totally is.
So
a lot about y'all's story is that.
yeah.
Okay, so did you guys bring a Bicker of the week?
Oh gosh, yeah, I heard about that.
We always
What
do
was
a
our Bicker this week.
sometimes, like it can be something like blot versus rub. Do you swerve when you see a pothole? Like something that you guys have a differing opinion on.
Kids, no, I'm just kidding. Parenting styles, no.
It can be that. That works too.
I'd be curious. When
Yeah.
you're annoyed with me,
The Bicker of the week. We're house hunting right now.
Oh,
So there's plenty of things that are healthy debates as we look for a new home. I don't know if that's been the Bicker of the week.
oh, we have one with that primary bedroom, upstairs or downstairs. In Canada, they're all upstairs. In
Great
Oklahoma,
Bicker.
they're all down, and I think
Great
they should be
Bicker.
down.
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 Down, yeah. There's
Down.
only one way.
Crazy.
Why would we
Or on
want
the
to?
main
It is
floor. It depends.
crazy.
on
Why
if
would
you
you
have a
want
basement,
to
you don't want
subject
the basement.
yourself
Main
to walking
floor.
up the stairs?
Yeah,
Main
yeah.
floor.
Privacy.
No, because the kids' bedrooms are up there too. It's like not.
But if there's
I
people
agree.
at the house and you're hanging in the kitchen, upstairs, I think this is like ludicrous.
I was like, why
Yeah.
would the primary bedroom ever be upstairs? And he was like, they all are in Canada. And I was like, oh,
Well, you pulled that one out because we have not actually online bickered about that.
Oh, here's a good Bicker for us. Here's a good Bicker.
okay.
How we vacation.
Oh, okay.
So I'm the kind of guy, very laissez-faire, go with the flow, allow time to breathe and be spontaneous. Allison's like, okay, it's 1:12 and 29 seconds, we're going here. At 1:17 and 15 seconds, we're going here. And literally the entire trip is like
schedule downtime.
micromanaged
And, like,
the
this
entire way.
Day from 9 to 12 is you want that downtime. That's when you can do it.
Scheduled downtime.
But
I want days
kids
of downtime.
Like scheduling and chaos. Like can live in
We're-
that, but
So I do what you do.
okay.
Yeah.
You guys
but
are so
I have a caveat.
okay.
Which is everything is cancelable. So like
okay, totally.
we will have a dinner reservation every night. We will have a a breakfast place to walk to every morning. But if like we're tired and we just want to have breakfast in bed, then like that's the path we'll go.
I like
but
that happy
There
medium.
will be
Yeah.
like scheduled downtime, and then the consistent fight that we have, and I move it from a bicker to a fight. One thing I
Ooh,
never
this is elevated.
I
Yeah.
never program enough time for. Alex loves to get ready.
I could get ready.
Loves to get ready.
Same.
And I'm very much like, we're gonna walk around this area, like get back to the hotel at 4:45, like kind of change outfits and leave at 5.
No.
And she wants to be back at like 3. You know, do the
Yes.
2-hour
Well,
relax.
you gotta have time to shoot content. You want to get ready. I like to have like a glass of wine or.
So this is when I go to
it's
the
like
gym,
Our favorite time.
though.
Yes, it's me.
I
Right?
would
So
say
she gets back
similar.
at 3, then I'm solo. I've got an hour and a half to gym and
No,
sauna,
because
and
then
then
who's
you.
watching the kids while I'm trying to get ready for 2 hours.
That's the new thing.
Those are details.
Those are details that are tough. So
Small details.
That's been the new big one. Is I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, what's going on there?
I have a couple other questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you involved in the Alix Earle deal?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'd love to hear about that partnership because it is
Yeah.
all over my TikTok.
Yes. Okay.
I see it
so
everywhere.
what we loved, like we were always like a creator first brand.
Yeah.
Our first year in business, we basically didn't do a paid ad. We didn't have a PR agency. We weren't even really, I think we were like doing some paid on Amazon, but our really big bucket was influencers and creators, like really leaning into that from the beginning. And keep in mind, Poppi launched March of 2020, the first week of COVID. So everyone's stuck at home, desperate for content to share that was better for you, shelf stable. All of those like COVID, we think back, feels like forever ago. And I just remember Alix drank Poppi in college before she blew up. So she was already like a fan of the product. And I remember even like Jake Shane, for example, was drinking Poppi when he had 90,000 followers.
I love it.
You know what I mean? And so we've always done really good at just understanding the incredible creators before they blow up and just had partnerships. And it's usually they are drinking it and that's where we reach out, right? It's like this discovery way that we've always worked with our partners. And so Alix just consistently loved the product. And then we just started doing a regular deal with her where it was like, do some posts. And she was just loving it. And then we've really, when it comes to investment at Poppi, have had one big investor. And then the only other people we allowed in were celebrities and influencers. So when we were doing a round, it kind of got out, we were talking who wants to be in it. And Alix wanted to be a businesswoman, right? And so she ended up investing in Poppi. We did an equity deal with her. We've also paid her on top of it. It just was this like organic relationship that we just started working through. And she's just a businesswoman. She is incredible. She's so professional. She's so sweet. She genuinely loves the product, works hard. And so it just consistently kept building over the years. And I think a lot of people see it now overnight, and we're doing so much stuff with her, but it's been, I mean, we've been working with her 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Right. And so now it's fun. We just launched our own can with her at Walmart. We just did a big sorority push. She's doing an internship. And a lot of that was like her idea.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So she designed the can. I got on a call with her and she literally drew on an iPad like what she wanted the can to look like and stuff.
Oh, I
So-
love that.
Yeah. So it's just like when you get that kind of like support and love for a brand on both sides, makes for the best relationships. If you work with talent and they just want a paycheck, we've never really been down for that. Like we want true partners, and it worked out really well. And she's a baddie. So
Yeah, I think it just comes down to like you like to work with people you like.
yeah.
And I think it was just like sort of this natural evolution as she talked about, and from her team to Alix, it's just they like to work hard. They like to be good people.
She seems like she really likes to work hard
She works hard.
and has a good
Yeah.
head on her shoulders.
And she has fun while doing it, which I'm
So much
obsessed
fun.
with. Like, don't take yourself too serious.
Correct, and she never does, and it's very like relatable but aspirational at the same time. And I think that's really everything you said. I'm glad to hear you say, but it's like what I was hoping you would say
Yeah.
about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing worse when you have like this image of someone and then you meet them, you're like, oh, bummer. You know, it's so great when they like exceed your expectations of your preconceived notions.
It's one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
When
It's
you
so
meet
fun, right?
somebody, you're like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, you're like,
Literally.
they were awesome.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Love that.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
is that not the best feeling
It's
ever?
so good.
Especially
It's
with
so
social
good.
media. Like you have these personas online that you think you're gonna see or meet. And then sometimes you meet them and you think, okay, like a little different than I was thinking. Sometimes you meet them and you think, so much more personality in person.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's fascinating.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating world we get.
Yeah, it's a collaboration that really seems to have nailed for
For both sides, it's mutually
Yeah.
beneficial.
all the reasons.
Totally.
that-
I know. We've not had the best luck with some others, which I won't mention.
You
Well,
can.
there's a couple swing and a misses,
There's a couple
but
swing and misses,
you know.
and that is where we learned why that method works so much better.
She's such a home run that like you had to kiss a few frogs before you got there. It sounds like, and like
Exactly.
that's worth it.
Totally.
100%.
And a lot of the times people starting a business, like one of the first questions that they'll ask me is, should I raise money? And it feels like a lot of entrepreneurs hear very scary stories about raising money. And so obviously you guys have gone down the path of raising external capital. Our company's gone down the path of raising external capital. I'd love to hear how you answer that question.
I'm going to say something and then you actually take the question. I think that as an entrepreneur, you don't start a company to have people tell you what to do. The second you take money, you have people tell you what to do. So.
Great. Start.
Yeah. I mean, I think
It's true,
yeah,
though,
yeah. I
right?
mean, I think that's right. As soon as you take investors, I think like the biggest thing for us is we always wanted to have the business be a certain size within sort of a relatively reasonable time frame. And with that, it just typically requires capital, particularly in beverage. But what I would say is just be very intentional when you take a big check from someone. I think angel investors or smaller seed investors, like that's different. But you start to take 10, 15, 20, 25 million dollars, like you want to pick the right group.
But it changed our lives. I do not regret it for a second. It got us to where we are. And I think with Poppi, we made a really big intentional point to spend a lot of money for growth to get brand aware. I mean, we did a Super Bowl ad like our third year in business, right?
I remember that.
We're the only Shark Tank deal to ever have done a Super Bowl ad, right? And so that's expensive. And so we made those decisions and we held hands and it was the deal we did. And so like saying that, like, but that comes with people telling you what to do. And that doesn't mean like telling you what to do necessarily change your business, but you have to then be fiscally responsible. You have to have board meetings. You have to do a lot of those things that make you a business once you take someone else's money. So I am a big fan of it. Just get into it with someone that respects your values and allows you to be you. Back to that earlier conversation.
And raise it at the right time from the right people. But I don't regret it because, when we started, there was another guy that I met at a farmer's market as well, and he didn't really want to change, didn't want to adapt, didn't want to take money, and he's out of business. And we sold our company for $2 billion, and so I think it's a balance, especially when it's your first at bat, right? A lot of the times, like you need other smart people. You want other smart people around the
Even if we
table.
start a company, we would take on investment.
Yeah.
We're not going to just pay for it all ourselves. It's just we will now have a little bit more control over that, if that makes sense. But I think you have to. It's also nice to have people in the trenches with you.
Totally.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, I have the last question.
Okay.
Are you proud of yourselves? I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Yes.
You're welcome.
It's hard. It's hard because like I'm proud as an inspirational mom. I'm proud to be the largest exit of a female founder in beverage history. I'm
Period.
so proud to be the first guest shark to have gotten a deal to come back. Like there's a lot of those like big things that I'm really proud of. But then I look at myself, I'm like, man, like, can I do this again? Or like you get scared. Like the imposter syndrome is still real, and I think that just makes me human. When it comes down to
like you just did this and then you're saying like, can I do it again?
I
That's
know,
so
it's-
crazy.
I know, because it's also like, ooh, that's a lot of work.
That's
But
just
I'm
you, though.
proud. I am proud of myself, but I'm still very like humble. I think, to not let it go to my head.
Like I'm just a girl, kind of like you're like. Is that how you feel? Like I'm just a girl, or no?
No, I don't think I'm just a girl. I think like my success, it has nothing to do with me, a woman or not a woman. I think it's just.
Sorry, that's a TikTok
Yeah.
trend. Like, do you know what? No, not like I'm just a girl, but like, okay, you haven't seen the trend. It would make sense. You know what I mean? Like, you say these crazy things, and then you say like, I'm just a girl.
Okay, see,
It didn't land. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm surprised you didn't know that.
I know. I usually like know every
Yeah.
little.
The
little
other TikTok trend you did was I met my younger self for coffee, and then I told that was a trend.
Wait, are you proud?
Yeah, thank
Oh,
you.
am I proud?
Yeah, I want to hear this.
Yes, I'm very. I'm proud. I'm proud for sure. I think I could be better about stepping back and smelling the roses a little bit more, and I think for me that's a learned behavior. I also like, and it's so cheesy. It's like I'm of the growth mindset. It's so cliche to say, but yeah, I always think that there's an opportunity to still show up the next day and be better. But absolutely. And there's nothing more special to me than having some of those moments where it feels like sort of everything comes together and you're able to sort of step back and almost have this out of body experience to say like, wow, the only way that I'm able to do this right now where I'm at with these people is because of what we've done.
I think we're
and
just
so
not
that's
done
that's
yet.
pretty special.
I think it's just we're not done yet, and so like there's more in us. So it's like yes, we're proud, but we're not done.
There's this
I love
creative
that,
that's
though.
like proud
Yeah.
but never satisfied.
Yes. So it's that.
Yeah.
And that's like a sentiment that I'm really gathering from you guys is like very humble, very not finished, and very just like you guys are doers. Like you're family oriented doers. And I think it's inspiring and like comforting to hear, kind of. I don't know that comforting's the right word, but it's close to comforting.
Relatable.
Yeah, or like
A lot of people, no, I think like authentic, relatable is like what we hear, and I'm not saying like I am that, but you know, sometimes people don't want to talk about this stuff, and they're not as real, and it's like I think more people should be authentic and real and tell like real stories, and not everyone's like, what books do you read, and what's your inspirational, and what's your daily routine? I'm like, I don't know. I listen to podcasts.
yeah, that's like. But that's the trend. Like that's I'm just a girl's like I'm very humble. Like I did
Yeah.
XYZ. I was a badass, but then at the end that's like I don't know what my morning routine is. It's not a 12-step. Like I don't sauna and then I don't do a 7-step
Yeah.
skincare
No.
routine and then meditate. Like it's not
I hate
that.
that.
Like I don't have time for that.
Yeah, I'm
I
just,
would
like, doing
love
it.
to do that, but I don't have time for that.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice, right? You should do it for like a week. You deserve it.
I know I should.
But then
Can
you'd
you-
get back to your next
Yeah,
thing.
I'm up at
Watch your
3:30. I
Liar.
jog for 5 miles. I come back. I wash my face. I hit the gym for an hour and a half.
Actually?
No.
Oh, I was like, jeez.
No.
Oh, I was
That
like-
is like the opposite. That is the opposite. I'm like woken up by my kids, like just trying to make
Screaming at
coffee.
us.
But see,
Yeah.
it's so funny because online the trend is like, in order to be successful, you must start with your morning routine. And now it's like, no, dude, just get up and get
Just
after
survive.
it. Yeah, just survive.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Okay, you guys were amazing. Thank you
This
so
was
much
super
for
fun.
coming.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's going to be like a very aspirational, inspirational, real kick in the ass interview.
Let's go.
Thanks for having us.
Thank
Yeah,
you for
thank
coming.
Thank
and,
you.
And thank you for being vulnerable. Thank you for saying like relationship was the third. Because sometimes we get these PR answers and it's very like everything was perfect and it was all sunshine and rainbows. And it's like, no, it wasn't, but it was fun.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah,
No regrets.
and I still love him.
Yeah. Some days.
That's obvious. That much
There's
I'll
an
tell
underlying
you.
theme of love
I know. Sometimes
and more. Yeah.
when he lets me shop,
When he lets me shop, I love that.
literally.
Okay, well, thank you all for listening. We love you guys. Thanks for listening to another episode of Two Parents in a Podcast, powered by Just Media House. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, rate, and review. Stay connected on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook at Two Parents in a Pod. Welcome to our home. Sorry it's so messy. New episodes every Thursday.